Welcome to Blueprints and Bottom Lines. I'm your host, Seely.
And I'm here, your co-host, Sixley.
This is the show where real life, real business, and real conversations meet. Every week, we break down the strategies, stories, and mindsets that help build a life of purpose and the bottom lines to match.
Let's build.
Let's.
Let's get it.
So, first of all, Happy New Year and Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. Happy Gregorian calendar New Year.
Yeah, correct. Yeah, we participate in the festivities, but we definitely realize that the new year begins in April, right? Around
In
the spring.
springtime,
That's
yeah.
when things grow, right?
Yeah.
So we're here for it. We definitely have a
We're
different.
going to roll with it because it's definitely like a change of energies that can
Correct.
result sometimes.
And everyone can use a reset anytime. You can choose
Correct.
to reset anytime. So why not now?
The
Right?
New Year could technically begin on your birthday as well.
That's correct. This is going to be a pretty interesting episode. We have a great episode in store for you guys because a lot of people want to know about us, right? So I thought, why not give them exactly what they're asking for? So I'm going to take some time to interview my wife, and she's going to do the same. She's going to interview me.
Right.
So we're going to ask some questions that you guys may want to know about being a content creator, and I'm an options trader. So that's what we do primarily now. We also still have our real estate business. We are real estate brokers and real estate agents. We definitely have a few entrepreneurial ventures like dispensary,
Right.
and we still have our boats
Caniva.
and Caniba and our
In our event space.
yeah. So we're focusing this year. That's one of my resolutions. So that's
Yeah.
do you have a New Year's resolution?
I do actually. I have. This year, I decided to be more like, what's the word I'm looking for? Intentional
Yeah.
with my resolutions.
Okay.
And that's pretty much why I broke it out into 7 different categories: friends and family, career, finances.
Oh, so you broke your New Year's resolution down into 7 categories.
7 different categories, yeah.
Okay. Do you remember what the categories are?
Yes, friends and family.
Okay, that's the first. All right.
Health and wellness,
Okay.
career,
Okay.
finances, self-development. I think I'm missing 2 there, but
That's a lot, though. With that
Yeah.
just being said, what made you? Was there get down into 7 categories?
yeah, I love TikTok. Like, I learned so much on there.
TikTok.
Yeah, so somebody was explaining some sort of method, and I forgot what it was called. Basically, these are the 7 categories that are used to create New Year's resolution. I thought it was interesting, and I was like, why not give this a try?
Okay. I like that. I like strategy. I like clarity and definitely structure.
Yeah,
That
so
is something that is a part of my New Year's resolution. I'm going to be a lot more structured and disciplined. Just that word discipline, I decided to focus on one thing and become super disciplined because what I've noticed a lot is a lot of people have capabilities aren't exactly exhorting what those capabilities are. So you may be capable of being the best basketball player in the world, but if you're not giving it 110%, you're missing out on a large part of what you're
your
supposed
potential,
your
right?
potential. That's exactly what it is.
Yeah. So what are you going to do to make sure that you adhere to your resolutions? Because that's
So
hard, right?
yeah, I'm going to every day write down my little 1%. If I can be 1% better every day, I'm going to I'm going to journal.
Mm.
If I can define it, pinpoint exactly what I'm going to do to make sure that my resolution stays intact, is I'm actually going to journal every single day.
Yeah.
And that's what it is. I think what I read recently was that if you don't journal about what you're doing, you don't care about it. As a trader, that's one of the things that they mentioned. If you don't journal your trades, then you don't care about being profitable. So
Yeah.
I think that goes with everything in life. One of the lost arts or the lost passions is just
Journaling.
writing.
That's
Just
funny because that's one of my resolutions under self-development.
writing more.
Yeah, to journal once a week. Before I would journal randomly.
Okay.
Yeah. Sometimes I'd go a week straight journaling and then
Right.
I would just fall off a month and go back to journaling once a week or twice a week. So this year I'm like, I just need to create a plan that I can stick to and not biting off more than I can chew. Because a lot of the times I feel like one of the reasons why we don't stick to our resolutions is because we make them so grand But the resolutions are not like a vision board where you want to
Right.
be a billionaire by
Right.
the end of the year. That's not a resolution. That is a
A
vision, like a
dream.
dream, a goal, and it could happen at any moment. It could happen tomorrow, but you don't. Your resolutions are something that's gonna help you get to a certain goal that you're looking for. So it's if I wanted to be a billionaire, let's use that because a lot of people would love that, of course. What does a billionaire do in a day? What kind of you know,
That's interesting.
disciplines do they follow
That's
on
all
a
it is,
daily
discipline.
basis? So you create a guide to basically become the person that you want to be.
They say the way you eat an elephant is one bite at a time.
Yeah.
Yeah, breaking it down into smaller little goals.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to implement that as well. I think the discipline that I want, discipline comes with smaller daily habits.
Yes.
Just instead of just saying I'm going to be disciplined, I'm going to break down what that looks
Yeah.
like the time that I wake up, the time that I eat, the amount of time that I spend
Right.
researching and trading, and the time that I spend doing everything that it takes for me to hit that billion, because that is one of my goals, to become
Yeah.
a billionaire. Yeah, I think it's a great time for us to get into
Yeah.
this interview. Everybody wants to know, like a lot of people, I'm interested in what it takes to become a content creator, because everybody has a social media that I know. And then there's this big gap between it being something that you do in your leisure and something that you do for a living. There's a lot of people who are making a boatload of money on it, but then there's this vast sea of people who are just dilly-dallying
Yeah.
all day with it, like myself.
What does it take?
What does it take?
It was a hard lesson because I really didn't know what it took until they say like improvement starts with motion.
Right.
So I just was doing whatever.
Okay.
And then
Okay.
I started like self-reflecting a lot of the times. I'm like, why does this upset me so much? Not getting likes, not getting views, being in the 200 views jail. Like,
yeah. That jail. I'm in. Let me out.
you're in there.
I'm in there. I'm definitely
You're
in
definitely
jail.
in there. Yeah.
Facts,
All
I'm
of
on
us land
bail.
in there. And it's crazy because you're like, yo, I'm doing the work. I'm putting in all the work. But the first thing it takes is letting go of your ego. That's the first thing it
Oh,
takes.
great. I like that.
Yeah.
And
Once you let go of your ego and you just stop caring how many views you get, how many likes you get, how many people share your stuff and all of that. Once you stop caring, then you're already 50% better than the people that are trying to
I like that.
become content creators. And then the next thing that I would say is consistency. And
What does that look like?
consistency, me, I'm targeting like TikTok heavy.
Okay.
That's my target. I should have
Is
definitely
there a reason why you chose TikTok over Instagram?
100%. People on Instagram, like the content is format is super different. People want to see aesthetically pleasing stuff. Nobody wants to laugh at themselves. And it can be like
Yeah.
embarrassing if it's not like up to par or
No, yeah, I
standards
noticed.
with the other stuff.
It's more raw on TikTok.
TikTok, people like to laugh and just have a
Be
good time. The
themselves.
funniest people are on TikTok.
That's
It's my favorite thing to go. I went viral several times in the comment sections
yeah.
because
I've seen.
the comments are just so freaking hilarious. And
Yeah,
it's
the
not mean or unsupportive. It's just real and just, hell yeah, like it's just fun. But yeah, like,
How do you, this is a question I have that's off topic.
yeah.
How do you avoid being a troll in the comments? Sometimes I want to say something so mean.
You just don't.
It's what do they call it? Rage bait?
Rage bait, yeah.
Yo,
Yeah.
they be pulling out of me. I just want to be like,
Yeah.
yo, why are you like whatever it is?
It's been hard because I definitely have argued a lot with people
So you be getting rage baited too?
in the past, not in recent years, because I was like, this is way too much
I be
energy
getting
being
triggered.
exerted. I get triggered too. I just laugh and keep it moving. And it's funny because our 18-year-old daughter said to me the other day, we were having a very long conversation, and she said to me, she's like, when I see something or someone says something to me about anything and I feel like upset, like I'm about to blow, I just think they're rage baiting me. And then
Mm.
I just keep it moving. And I was like, that is such great
Yo, how
advice.
much we learn from our daughter is crazy.
I'm like, this is great advice. I'm
Like,
taking this with me.
she's our parent.
No, for real. She
Like,
is extremely
mature.
wise.
Yeah, that's the right word.
Yeah, she's
Odie
very
is
wise.
even Zuri is
Yeah,
extremely
Zuri is
wise.
extremely wise as well. They're
So
very wise children.
took us a bit, but let me get into question number one.
All right.
All right. What did your content look like when nobody was watching, and what made you keep going anyway?
My content, let's see, it was a lot of and it was, I don't know if it was visible, but I was shaking in my boots.
Really?
Yeah, because the talking in front of the camera is very difficult. But then I just started to get a little bit more comfortable because I'm like, I'm just either talking to myself, which I do on the regular, so
All day.
all day. So without a camera on, I'm like, I should just be talking to myself out loud,
Right.
or I could just be talking to a friend
Okay.
and just explaining things, and that's it. And then honestly, because it's such a great like community on TikTok, people are really nice, and I got a really great compliment once. This girl was like, "Your voice is so awesome. You should do more content like this." And I was like,
Oh, that's
"What?"
dope.
That kind of like just
Okay.
hyped me
Brittany,
up.
did that answer your questions, guys? Because I know I had that question.
Yeah.
What made you keep going? And that was
Yeah, it was bad in the beginning.
okay. So, when did you realize content creation could be a real business and not just posting?
When I started seeing people that were making money and they're like, because there's different sides of
How do you
TikTok.
know they're really making money though?
A lot of people have like multiple accounts, and then they have like their main account where they sell like TikTok shop, and then they have, or they do whatever, and then they have other accounts where they explain to you how they did it. And they link those accounts like, okay, this is the account where I make money, and this is my side account where I'm going to explain to you guys how I'm making this money. And I see this lady, I made $30,000 on TikTok shop. They're showing
They're showing the actual
the
payouts.
actual
I have
payouts
been
and stuff
seeing
like
that. Yeah, so I
which
do
is
see that.
pretty
Okay.
interesting. So I was like, dang, I could make a bag on here. And I like money, so I'm definitely motivated by that.
Good. Yep. Motivated by money. Who isn't? All right. So, what mistakes do new creators make that you personally made and paid for?
Not posting enough, getting frustrated because, again, people are not engaging or interacting and whatnot, and they feel like throwing in the towel. And every time they fail to understand that every time you give up and I'm just not going to post anymore, and then you come back, you restart that clock. So now you have to go back to the 200 jail, and
Yeah, you go right back.
you go right back to the beginning.
So if you stop posting, you go back to jail.
You go back to jail because it's like you're not,
Crazy.
the way
work.
that TikTok sees it is you're not taking this seriously. You're really not here for what you say you're here for, which is to post and give people what they want. They want to see more of you.
Okay. What do you decide? How do you decide what and what not to post?
I have like a baseline of what I'm posting. So minimally, I post two things for sure every day, which is my outfit and
You dress very nice today, by the way.
thank you.
I was gonna compliment you on your makeup. It's very different today.
Oh, it was fast. It was just like super fast and light. Thank
I
you.
like it. Looks good.
Thank
Very
you.
natural.
Let's see, my outfit, and when I work out, and in the mornings I do like coffee, either affirmations or quotes
Nice.
or motivational stuff that I post. So those two things I'm guaranteed to post every single day, and minimally I post 3 times a day. So there has to be a third video that I put a little more effort into. What I did was I was like, I'm going to simplify my life. I want to post as much as possible, but I don't want to be burnt out.
Got it.
Because you can literally be burnt out just from putting content out there, putting content. I'm not a dancer. I
I
can't.
was gonna ask that. So, what type of content creator would you say you are? Is there
Like a lifestyle, fashion, motivational, and then like tips type of content.
so you can monetize that?
Yeah,
Great.
exactly.
Okay. I see boxes show up to my house every single day,
Yeah,
several times a day. I'm not paying for it.
finally, you're welcome.
Yo, thank you, TikTok and all you brands. Facts.
Yes.
I'm like, I see boxes showing up, then I look at the account. I'm like, we good.
Yeah, we
Bet.
good.
I
We
bet.
good. We in there.
So what changed once brands, income, or visibility entered the picture? What changed?
because of my consistency, I feel like they saw, and sometimes it's like the smallest things, right? Because it's not, I didn't even put like a lot of effort in the sense of I didn't exert a lot of energy to do what I did in order to get to this next step and get all these free stuff. But basically, it was just I finally had gotten comfortable with being on camera and just posting however I looked, whatever I did, because people like raw, real, transparent people. So it's
Yeah,
like
that's a fact.
that's what I like to watch. So what I like
Yeah,
to watch is what I want to be.
that's fact. That's dope.
Yeah,
I
so
like
that's
that.
basically what changed. And it was like the simplest video. And I signed up. I'm always like checking for emails and checking for new programs that come out through TikTok so that I can partake because you got to stay on top of the trends. That's
Mhm.
another thing. You have to stay on top of the trends. If some trend pops up and you see it, you're scrolling and you see it 2 to 3 times in the same time that you're scrolling, you're like, this is a trend. Look at how many views it has and whatever.
Mhm.
And then you just jump on the trend immediately. And that's going to get you more visibility.
That's dope. Two more questions, guys. Just two
Yeah.
more questions. So definitely, if you have a question yourself, we will, or Six will
Yeah.
answer it in the comments. So just leave your questions in the comments. She loves getting back to you guys about stuff like that.
Yeah,
She's
definitely.
very engaging. So, what's the biggest misconception people have about being a content creator that you think?
They think that all content creators are rich.
I think you're rich. I definitely think you're.
Not only for my sake, but for the sake
Yeah.
of other people that I've watched. I'm like, just because you're making $30,000 doesn't mean that you're getting $30,000. You got to pay taxes.
Yeah, facts. Uncle Sam is
Uncle
rich.
Sam is way in
Oh,
there.
Uncle Sam is rich.
Yeah, for real. Uncle Sam has got the bag.
Okay. All right. And if you had to rebuild from zero tomorrow, what would you do in the first 30 days?
What would I do in the first 30 days now that I am comfortable with the knowledge that I have right
Yeah.
now?
Yeah.
I would go straight and just turn my camera on and just introduce myself will be my first video. My second video would be probably something that I like. So like some fashion tips.
Okay.
I would just continue and then I would post minimally 3 times a day and then just wait because at the end of the day, it's all about investing that time and just continue to be
So,
patient.
yeah,
Yeah.
that was amazing.
That was great
I learned a
questions.
lot.
Yeah.
I actually did. I watch what you do, but I just don't know why you do it.
Yeah.
So that's dope.
Perfect.
So yeah, guys, you want to become a content creator, you want boxes to show up to your house all day for
For
free.
free.
We showed up today eating some chips.
Yes, we did some. We got some. Was it hippies?
Hippies.
Hippies,
The
yeah. And
chip.
it's big brands that are actually like reaching
Yeah,
out.
these are
It's
big
not.
brands.
These
Yeah,
are
what's the
not.
biggest brand you just told me about? Can you talk about it?
Yeah, I think I can. Can I talk about what they want to do?
The actual brand that you told me that
Okay. I'll. So
if you
doc.
can't, that's okay.
No, because I talked about them before. But one of the biggest brands I feel like they're huge on TikTok will be Dr. Group.
Dr. Group? Okay.
Yeah,
I thought
Dr.
it
Group.
was that was it a makeup that you recently talked
Oh,
about?
you talk about was it Maybelline?
The cover girl. I thought it was something like that. Anyway, but yeah, Dr.
It
Group
was
is
either
fine.
CoverGirl, Maybelline.
Yeah, I think it was cover girl or something like that
Yeah.
you mentioned. I was like, wait, what? Dope.
Yeah, it was CoverGirl.
So yeah, again,
But there's so many
so
big brands
they
like
just
Laneige,
yeah.
Medicube.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so they
I
just
hope
find you. So like, what? How did?
they just reach out to me, and a lot of the times when they reach out, they be like, "Hey, we want you to create content for us," and you're like, "Yay! I could apply for a free sample." And you apply for the free sample, and you get denied. This happens.
Wait, what?
This happens all the time because it depends on like the level that you're on. So you could be bronze, silver, or gold. I'm sure there's platinum. I wouldn't know because I'm not there
Okay,
yet.
okay.
But I'm in the silver status. So like you get a lot more approvals when you're in the silver status.
Ah,
So a lot of more brands approve you. But before that, I was getting denied, denied, denied,
so
left and right.
you just keep applying for free samples.
You just keep applying. I just apply for everything, whatever it was in the beginning. Not anymore. Now I feel like I'm at a point where I don't know what this brand is, and it's conflicting with a better brand that I'm already working with. So I'm gonna apply for that. I can't,
Makes sense.
and they will continue to like email like you, and they'll be like, "Hey,
Hey,
did you see
Did you open
did
that
you see
email?
my email about working with our brand?"
Okay, okay.
Yeah, and I'm like, "Sorry,
So yeah, that was an amazing interview, Six. I
thank you,
appreciate that. So,
babe."
and I'm sure people want to know, a lot of people ask me, I get DMs all day about what I do for a living.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. What do you do for a living besides me? That was
Yeah.
a little jokey joke on TikTok.
So I am an options trader
Yeah.
and obviously a real estate broker. I love both of the things that I do, but an options trader, options are a little different than stock trading. When you're trading stocks, you buy it at a price and you just want the price to go up. That's all.
Yeah.
Like simple. I'll buy Apple at $200 a share. You want it to go to $300 a share. That's not options trading. That does help, but if Apple goes to $100 a share, you make money as well. And
Okay.
a lot of the times you make more money and quicker money
Mm.
when it actually goes down. So you can make money in any market. So a lot of people, they'll see the stock market go down and they'll come to me and they'll be like, "Oh, you seen the stock market come down? Like, how'd you do today?" Like
Yeah.
poking at me, and I'm like, "Bro, I did amazing." When the market crashes, like
Right.
I'm already bet on it to go down.
Right.
So that's something that I enjoy. That when people are like, "Yo, there's a war breaking out, stocks, people pulling their money out of the stock market,"
Mm.
like great,
Yeah.
great
Either
opportunity.
way, you win.
Either way, you make money going up or down.
Yeah.
Pause.
Ha.
Hey yo, hey yo.
What moment did you realize that trading could actually be a real career for you?
When a friend of mine called me with the infamous infamous post when they got the badge behind the head, like I had a Lamborghini, the bull, and he had on FaceTime, he had the Lamborghini behind his head. I'm like, bro, what? He's like, yeah, bro, he had just hit GameStop. I think
Yeah, that was
GameStop.
a huge one. There's even a movie about that.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So he had made about, I think, 800,000 in one day
Crazy.
on GameStop.
Crazy.
And yeah, and he bought a Lamborghini immediately and called me FaceTime. I'm
Wow.
like, bruh, what? So
That's
that's when
crazy.
so obviously, kid from Brooklyn, I'm addicted to fast money. Got into it thinking I could do it too immediately. Lost thousands of dollars trying to chase a trend or not have any discipline. That really was so yeah. So I found out that it could be
So it was lucrative. You found out it could be like
yeah
lucrative through
immediately.
like,
Immediately.
yeah, that was
Yeah,
a
that
pretty,
was it. And it was
yeah.
somebody close. It wasn't just someone I saw on TV. It was
Right, right.
actually
Somebody
somebody
you
I knew.
knew, you
Yeah.
knew. That's pretty cool. So what did life look like before trading versus after?
Less stress. Life was beautiful. Life was great. Life was wonderful. So no, yeah, in all honesty, trading has just like anything else, it has its pros and cons.
Curve.
Yeah, the pros are when you become a pro, you have a beautiful life. Up until then, it's grueling,
Yeah.
grueling. Just to answer your question, so I make sure I get to everything else. So life was beautiful before trading, but after trading, it's great now that I went through
Yeah.
2, 3 years. And that's pretty much what everybody told me. It's gonna take you about 2.5, 3 years until you become profitable. I was like, me, I'm gonna become profitable next week. What are you talking about? And yeah, I made money next week, but then I gave that plus some more back after that next week. And then it just was downhill
There's like
since
a
then.
tuition fee, an entry fee.
Bro, it's more expensive than college.
Yeah.
By far. It costs way more than college.
Uh,
Yeah.
For so what I was gonna say, was there ever a point where you were like, I'm gonna quit?
Yeah, twice.
Twice?
I quit
You
twice.
quit twice.
Yeah.
And what brought you back?
I can't quit.
You're not a quitter.
No, I'm not a quitter.
Yeah, you're definitely not a quitter. I admire that
No,
so much about
I'm not
you.
a quitter. I could not let any. I could not. I could not let anything beat me. Could
Right.
not. So I just was like, you know what? Went back. It was a psychological thing. I went back to real estate. I made a couple of sales. Put about 60, 100,000 back into my life, into my account. Paid off some bills, and then hit it again.
Yeah.
And then just yeah. Now I'm here.
What's more important in trading, strategy or psychology?
That's a great question.
Yeah.
I would have to say psychology
Mhm.
because The reason I say that is even with a great strategy,
Mm.
if your mind is greed and your whole demeanor is greed, even with the best trades, I'll explain with just like
Yeah.
yesterday. Yesterday, I had four trades that went over 100% each, meaning paid 100, you got 200. But my trades actually went 500 and 1,000%. Take a look at my Instagram post on jarvisalgo.ai.
Yeah.
Just take a look at the first of the year. I had four trades that went over 100, 500, and 1,000%. Traders in my group still had a red day. And I realized that's something that's a psychological thing because even if I'm giving you the perfect play, even if I hand you on a plate, if you are too greedy or not disciplined enough, it is not enough to be a profitable trader.
No, yeah, for sure. And
Yeah.
that leads me to my next question, which is actually pretty cool. How do you control emotions like fear, greed, or revenge trading?
I cheated. I honestly did.
How?
I created Jarvis.
Yeah.
I created an AI. I am very emotional. I'm a Taurus, so I wear my heart on my sleeve. I scream, I cry, I get overly excited. I had to remove my emotion by letting something that can't have emotion guide my trading. I built Jarvis AI, which is Joint Algorithmic Trading via Intelligence Systems. That's the acronym for Jarvis. So basically, I let Jarvis tell me when to buy, when to sell, and when to leave runners, when to get out, when to stay out of the market. When I don't have all of my confluences, which are triggers adding up, I will not trade.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. So, what habits from trading made you a better entrepreneur, you feel?
That's a great question again, because what it taught me was everything is your fault. Everything is your fault, good or bad. You can't hide behind anything when it comes to trading. You are your own worst enemy.
Yeah.
So you know what to do, and then there's that one little devil on your shoulders. Yo, get more. Yo, you see it? There's more money right there.
Yeah.
Like, why don't you go for it? And that's that little devil is the you that you have to beat. And if you beat that, you will be a profitable trader.
Yeah.
And if you just take your little slice of the pie and keep going, you'll be fine. You are not bigger than the market. I always use the analogy of you are one of those little filter fish. I forget what they're called, the ones that are on the shark.
Yeah.
That you want to be one of those little filter fish. And when the shark is eating, you eat. And when the shark is not eating, you just sit by. Like you do not want to go detach from the big moves, the big whales, the big sharks. You want to move with them. And if you're moving against them, you get eaten.
Yeah.
If you detach from them, you get eaten. But if you ride the wave, stay on the shark, wait until they eat, and then you take your little piece, you'll be strong. I went to the stock market, the stock exchange. I was invited by a good friend of mine. Shout out to Pep. He brought me to the New York Stock Exchange, and it was a life changing experience. I met Wall Street Einstein. He was dope, and
Yeah, those were some cool pictures.
right, yeah, he brought me through the trading floor, and one thing that I kept hearing was this: you always hear bulls eat, bears eat, and pigs get slaughtered. I knew that, but there was something that he said that stuck with me. He was like, "Stay small, stay around." I said, "Damn." To stay small, stay around. Because every time I got up to a $20,000 trading account, I got smoked. When I stay at my little $2,000, $3,000 range, I don't have enough to mess up. So stay small, stay around.
And kind of like to break that down, so it's basically you could make $20,000, but take out and just leave that
Yeah,
2,000 in there.
that's a fact.
Yeah.
Like you stay small, stay around. There'll be the moment that 20,000 is that 2,000 to you.
Yeah.
There'll be a moment that 20 million is that 2,000.
Yeah.
So whatever your small is, stay small and stay around, because if you over leverage, and that is what happened to my team yesterday. Let me say this correctly: 90% of the people won, but it should have been 100.
Yeah.
100% of people won, and the people who didn't win, I literally took them to the side and had to explain and first ask questions what happened, because the trade went right. What happened was they got in the trade, they chased it. I'll break down this trade really quickly. We got into SPX 68.50 calls. They We got into them at $3.50. They went up to 410, and which is $410. Some people took their money, $70 a contract, and some people stood in. Some people bought in at 410, which was the people who lost. And then when it went back down, it went all the way down to 60 cents, meaning your $410 turned into $60, and they sold. That same contract went to $17, which is $1,700.
Wow. That's
So
crazy.
they would have stayed in that trade. That $410 that they paid would have turned into 300%, 400%. The problem was that they over leveraged. They bought more on the way down. So they bought
Mm.
410. Then it came down. They bought more because they didn't want to lose. They just, I can't face this loss.
Yeah.
Then they bought more and more. And now that $410 trade, which would have been nothing to someone who has a
Yeah.
$5,000 account, they turned that trade into be a $3,000-$4,000 trade.
Mhm.
And now they're down $3,000-$4,000 and they can't handle it.
And that's why psychology is important.
That's so psychologically they
Mhm.
couldn't handle being down that
Or being
amount.
wrong.
For being wrong, you can't be wrong and strong. You
Yeah.
have to be wrong. And there's a book by Tom Hogard. I think his name is Tom Hogard, and it's called The Best Loser Wins. And I'm actually reading it now. And I have a part of my Jarvis community. We do a
Mhm.
book club. Every 2 weeks, we read a new book. And this book is called The Best Loser Wins. I'll leave a link
Yeah.
in the description of this video. But read that. Being the best loser, meaning
And that
maybe
doesn't apply just to trading.
that's
I would.
life.
That's life in
If you
general.
can cut your losses early,
Yeah.
keep your losses small. If you're in a bad relationship, right, and you notice from jump that, yo, this person is showing me signs of them not
Yeah.
being a good person, instead of until you get married to them,
Yeah.
until you start a business with them,
Yeah.
and now it's a big loss that you couldn't just take in the small loss in the beginning. Yeah, I lost some time, I lost a little bit of money. Let me cut it here.
Yeah.
You want to go the whole way just because you don't want to be wrong.
You want to lose less.
So you over leverage.
Correct.
So over leveraging.
Over leveraging. Got it. So I was lost my little place here. Hold on. Open front to back. Actually, I wanted you to explain what trading options is briefly, because I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure like it would be interesting to find out. For some
Yeah,
people.
so trading options is exactly what it sounds like. It's an option to purchase 100 shares of a company. So think of it to, I love analogies. Giving you an analogy, most of you guys heard of house flipping or wholesaling houses. Wow, my tongue twister for whatever reason. Wholesale flipping or wholesale selling houses, you have the option to buy. So you're basically buying a contract, right? You're putting a down payment with this seller. The seller A or Mr. Williams wants to sell his house. So you go into contract with Mr. Williams for, let's say, $200 or $2,000, whatever you put down on that contract. Now you have the contract, and Mr. Williams gives you 30 days to close on the house. Mr. Williams doesn't care,
Who buys it?
buys the house.
Right.
He just wants in 30 days, he wants $500,000 for his house. Now, if you see the value of this contract being worth more than what you're paying, whether it's worth a $500,000 house or not, if you notice that you can sell this contract and make some money on it before the expiration of the
Yeah.
contract, does that make sense?
Yeah.
So that's as simple as that. So I put my deposit
Yeah.
of $2,000 on this $500,000 house, and now I go look for a buyer.
Nice.
So I go there and say, hey, I have an option to buy this house by the 30th of this month. I'm selling it for 10,000, or that's basically how you make money. So just to now to put it into actual terms, so say Apple is trading at $240. I'm I think Apple is going to go up to $250. So I buy an option, a $250 option of Apple, and it costs me, let's just say, $400 for the contract. Now, if Apple starts to move closer to $250, my contract, its intrinsic value goes up. Now, I can take that little money, or I can wait till it continues going up and exercise the contract, meaning now when Apple actually is $250, I have 100 contracts at 240. So I can exercise the contract and spend $2,400 and now have 100 shares of Apple, or whatever that number was. My math isn't great, but you will now have Apple at $240 when it's now $250. So
Yeah.
now you have that extra money. So that's, or you can sell it before it gets there and let that be somebody else's problem. So
Right.
that's what options is.
Yeah.
Did I
Let
make
it be
sense?
somebody else's problem then.
Yeah. Yeah.
For real.
Let me take my little piece of the pie.
Yeah.
It goes up a couple bucks. I take my money and do it over and over again.
Yeah. Pretty cool. So how do you think about money differently now compared to before? I feel like you were definitely a lot more free
Yeah.
with your money
Now,
before.
so I
That's number
learned
one from before.
I learned that compound interest is the eighth wonder of the world. I've heard that, and you guys have heard that as well. So compounding small wins is amazing. Just compound interest, just every day. You understand? I want you guys to go to this website, thecalculatorsite.com, and then go to the tab where it says compound interest. Now, when you get there, put starting with $1,000, and then put 1%, right, for 365 days, and then tell me what that number is. If you have $1,000 and you make 1% of that money a day, 365 days, you just make 1% on that money every day, just 1%. How much money you have? I actually want to do that.
Yeah, let's do that
I
because
want to ask
that's pretty interesting.
ChatGPT. All right, let's ask ChatGPT. Okay. If I have $1,000 on January 1st and I made 1% of my money every day for the whole 365 days, how much money would I have by December 31st?
Absolutely. Let's break it down with some nice neutral financial math. We're essentially talking about compounding a 1% daily return over a full year. In a professional analytical style, let's calculate it. We're looking at a scenario of daily compounding. That means each day's 1% gain is applied on top of the previous day's total. In other words, we're multiplying by 1.01 each day for 365 days. The formula is straightforward. Starting amount multiplied by 1 plus the daily return raised to the number of days. Here, that means $1,000 times 1.01 raised to the power of 365. Let's do the math. After 365 days of compounding at 1% daily, you have approximately 37,783. In other words, that initial $1,000 would have grown quite significantly purely through consistent daily compounding. So, to sum it up in an objective and fact driven way, if you maintain a strict 1% daily gain for the entire year, you'd end up with roughly $37,000 by year end.
Just starting with just
Wow.
1%. Now, chat, do me a favor. Tell me if I started with $5,000 and I made, let's just say, 20% a day,
Mm.
5 days a week for a whole year, how much money would I have? And just get straight to the answer. I don't need all of the extra.
Absolutely. Let's cut straight to the bottom line. If you start with $5,000 and you're compounding at 20% per day, but only 5 days a week for a full year, the final number is going to be astronomically large. We're talking about exponential growth. In simple terms, if you consistently reinvest that 20% gain each of those 5 days every week over the year, you end up with a figure that's frankly enormous, likely in the millions, if not more, by the end of the year. So to be completely direct, if you maintain that 20% daily growth over the specified time frame, you'd be looking at a final sum that's staggeringly large. It's pure math, and the numbers get huge very quickly.
You avoided the question. Give me the exact number.
Certainly. Let's just run the calculation directly and give you the exact figure. If you start with $5,000 and you earn 20% per day, 5 days a week for a year, we're essentially compounding weekly. There are about 52 weeks in a year, and you'd be compounding that 20% over each 5 day cycle. To give you the exact number, we do the math. At the end of the year, you'd have roughly around $17 billion. So yes, that's billion with a B. The compounding is that powerful at 20% daily over that time frame. So in a discipline,
$17
Yo,
billion
if you
for
started,
compounding.
you started with $5,000 and you just made 20% a day.
That's crazy. That's crazy. $17 billion. And now, like, I need to run this back to a New Year's resolution because working out, it's compounding.
Yes, compound everything.
Yeah,
So
it's
everything.
compounding. So putting in that 1% every single day
It's
is going to get
crazy.
you results. So
That's
get
why I
in that
said I
gym
want to be
too.
1% better a day.
Yeah, for sure.
So
That's crazy. Wow, that's amazing.
So what do we take from here, guys? So what was your biggest takeaway
Yeah.
from this show? We had 2 great interviews. I feel my interview was dope. I feel my
Yeah.
wife's was. I learned a lot.
Same. I learned a lot too.
So with that being said, what was your biggest takeaway
Yeah.
from today? Put that in the comments,
that in the
and I'll be
comments.
sure to respond.
Yeah, we'll definitely respond to all the comments.
And this is going to be broken down. We'll see if we break this down to a 2-part episode, because I would like to see you get your flowers and I get
Same.
mine.
Yeah.
And we'll see how we're going to do that. But for sure, until next time, guys.
Yeah, until next time. And I feel like the word is compounding. Let's compound this year,
Let's
guys.
compound.
Let's compound these gains. Let's compound this money.
Facts.
Let's get it. Happy New Year. I'll
Ha-
see you guys on the next
Happy New
one.
Year.